We're live, and welcome to Mountain Monday Morning on Mountain Fun Life Channel and Radio. And we welcome all of our listeners and viewers and followers from here and yonder, and all around the world in Australia, New Zealand, India, and I think even Pakistan, and I don't know what kind of stands they're watching from. But anyway, we're glad to have all of you. Now, here's what we need you to do right now. We need you to get on your Twitter, Facebook, your phone, tweet, do whatever you need to do to let all your friends and your neighbors, relatives, and even your enemies, if you want to, let them know that Mountain Monday Morning is live. Hey, we got something lined up this morning that people going to enjoy. That right, Mountain Man? We have a guest this morning that we're going to be introducing just a little bit later on. And we're going to have a lot of fun here this morning. So what we're going to do right now is give you a little bit of time to get that calling, texting, tweeting, and all that stuff done. Grab that extra cup of coffee and get ready for Mountain Fun Life Live. We'll be right back. Guess what, folks? It's Monday morning, and we are ready to roll this morning here in the Smoky Mountains of East Tennessee, and we are coming to you live, and we hope that you enjoy the program this morning. Just stick right around with us, get that extra cup of coffee, and sit back and relax, unless you're driving. Don't get too relaxed. You can follow us on any mobile device. Anything that's mobile, any kind of electronic device that you can get a signal on, you just go to Facebook, YouTube, Roku, all that technological stuff that I don't know the first thing in the world about, and you click on that and you go to Mountain Fun Life, www.mountainfunlife.com. And I'm sure you're going to find us on there somewhere or another. Now, we have had so much going on. We are growing by leaps and bounds, ain't we, Mountain Man? Expanding. And you're what do you got going on over there?
Well, I was expanding.
Yeah, you're expanding the wrong direction. Anyway, we're going to have time here this morning, but let's jump right into some events and things that we've had going on. Our deck is done. We know it's done because we made it done, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. You and Daniel and your son, you all made it done. And
now
Bob,
we just need somebody cooking.
I'll
be a sampler.
All right, that's keep that thought in mind, because the deck is done. And we are going to be shooting, that's with a camera now, not, we're going to be shooting October, I won't, Bob Denny will, October the 27th, shooting October the 27th. Now, the kitchen set, some of you have been seeing the pictures being posted, the kitchen set is almost done. Now, we got cooking shows coming up. You like to eat, don't you? I do, too. Do you like to eat, Mr.
Oh,
Johnson?
absolutely.
Our guest, Mr. Johnson, we're going to be giving him a fine and proper official introduction here in just a minute. Don't forget now, we're going to have cooking shows here. Food. Oh, man, that means, lip smacking good. So the kitchen set is near completion. And we did some shooting with Josh Hughes down at the Subs,
Brother
original
Josh,
Subs
yep.
and Pizza. And he still has either misplaced my pen, my favorite pen, and now my wife wants her pen back that I gave him. And she wanted to know about that pen. I said, Josh Hughes has got it. So, Josh, you better be ready to turn that pen over and make sure you got an extra, because my wife's coming after you, after the pen. And if you don't turn it over, maybe you too. Elizabeth was live at Ripley's Haunted Adventures. And she also did a walkthrough at Dollywood Luma Nights. And she always gets some amazing footage. Have you seen some of the footage?
Young. She knows how to do it.
My, she is getting just right uptown, and country too, wherever she's at, on the mountains, doesn't matter. She gets some good footage. So now you may want to go back and watch some of these. You can find them on Facebook, on YouTube, and Roku, and all that technological stuff that I told you earlier about. Jana Jennings, she began her show. And I'm telling you, I clicked on one and listened to it. Just I hadn't heard her singing and music before much anyway.
Check things out.
I check things out because I have to try to get ready for Mountain Monday morning here, you know. And but she's, I'm telling you, she's great, and she's doing her show here. And so I'll tell you what, let's do. Let's take this out now and listen to a little bit of Jana Jennings.
That sounds good.
On Spotify has a piano and everything, but I'm going to play a special acoustic version of it with just my guitar, and I hope that you enjoy it. Here's Maybe. Tonight I'm missing you. No matter what I do, it's like I'm only in love with the air. But the air can't speak, the air can't breathe, no, the air can't tell me no lies. No, the air can't look in my eyes. I've never felt so deep. I've never felt so deep in love. Tonight I'm missing you. No matter what I do, it's like I'm always alone with the walls.
Welcome back to Mountain Monday Morning. By the way, I am your host, Robert Oldby, along with Mountain Man Wayne McCarter. You can call him whatever you want to, as long as you call him 3 times a day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. He'll be ready for either one and all the snacks in between. I didn't forget it this time. What you got to say for yourself this morning?
I ain't going to. I get myself in trouble.
You get yourself and your wife listening? Okay. Yeah, you better be on your best behavior and watch your manners, because we are on live too. So sometimes you get a little out of hand, and we have to reel you back in. Like a
I'll be purdy.
Okay. Well, no, you won't be that.
Well,
but
be good then.
Just, okay.
Well, free
You
praise.
make an attempt at it anyway. One more honorable mention we need to mention here. Michael Keating is coming back with a show. I'm not sure. Is that Mountain Fun Life, Bob? Okay, on Mountain Fun Life. So we have We're Home, also the Creative Christian Network. And sometimes we never know. Bob gets out there and he starts plugging stuff in and sending us all different directions, simulcasting, I think. He knows all them technological terms on this stuff. You know, you remember when the radio stations, we were talking about this earlier, and I worked with some, and we grew up and we're used to the airwave stations, you know, where you get 25, 15, 20 miles out or around the other ridge, and you couldn't pick it. It'd start fading out. You couldn't get the signal. And now, here we are, high-tech, and going all different directions all around the world. Anywhere you got a mobile device, all you got to do is just go to
Brother Bob can
www.mountainfunlife.
multitask. Though.
He can multitask. Yeah. My type of multitasking is I try to do a lot of things, can't do any of them efficiently.
That's trying to cut a steak and hold it with your fork multitasking, man.
All right, let's get to our guest here. We have a wonderful gentleman. I think it's the first time we've met, right?
It is.
Okay, glad to have you on Mountain Monday morning, and good to have you in here between us. So you're closer to him. If he gets out of line, just kind of take your elbow and don't knock him off the stool, though. Just kind of elbow him every now and then. We've got Mr. Johnson here, and you go by Uncle Dennis.
Uncle Denny.
Uncle Denny. Let me get that right, Uncle Denny. You pick and you sing, and you're affiliated with Smoky Mountains Tunes and Tales. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the Smoky Mountain Tunes and Tales is a program that is sponsored by the city of Gatlinburg. It's sponsored by the city's Convention and Visitors Bureau. And I believe 2019 season will be, the 14th season of this city-sponsored program. And it's just a great program. It's just designed to enhance the visit of all the guests that come to the Gatlinburg area on vacation or business or whatever reason they are there during the Tunes and Tales program. We're there to entertain and make their visit all the nicer.
I remember when this I didn't remember the exact year that this came about, but I thought, wow, that's a good idea. See, I used to travel travel around. Well, we didn't really travel. We just walked around the streets of Gatlinburg, and we'd perform in one of the auditoriums or locations with the historic Jim Ball and the Mountain Boys. I was a tenor singer and rhythm guitar player with them, Jack Grooms and the Mountain Travelers, I believe they call their group. I even did a little upright bass picking. We picked up on this Ober Gatlinburg, they call it.
I believe Denny's a little more hardcore. I believe he walks up and down them streets.
Right.
Yeah.
I failed to mention we are a costume strolling performance act.
Oh,
because
okay.
We are strolling up and down the parkway, covering most all that we can through the main.
So you are
really
right
cool.
out in all the action, the
Absolutely.
foot traffic, and so you're not actually in between the walls or in an auditorium. You're
He's
actually out amongst
there
the people.
getting-
Well, now we did
mingling with the tourists.
we did
and
that too.
singing and
We did that too. We would
cool.
travel around and sing in the restaurants, pick and sing, do a little bit of a tune or something. But that was to advertise our program, that we were doing, the show that we were doing, wherever we were going to be at. But what you're doing is actually performing on the street performer, like a street minstrel type.
Absolutely. It's just up close and personal if the guests want it to be. They can walk on by or they can stop and listen, and it's very interactive, face level.
That is, that's the advantage of doing something like that. If someone, if they just actually don't like the music, they can, they can go into the candy store or go get some caramel corn or something like that. But usually what I have found, there are not many people in this world, especially in our area, there are not many that don't like good old picking and singing mountain music. especially the homegrown kind that we do around here. Now, this is one thing that we want to bring more into Mountain Fun Life radio format here, is the mountain music and the entertainment in this area. They can, and of course now we have your standards like George Jones and Merle Haggard and Dolly Parton, and we've got a few tunes on there too, and they can turn on radio anywhere basically and hear all that. But what you're talking about, you either have to be here and be on the streets of Gatlinburg or wherever you're performing in order for the tourists to get the benefit from that. But now, what we want to do, and if you all, and I'm glad that we had a cordial conversation on the phone, and I saw that you were interested. What we want to do is introduce to the Mountain Fun Life radio audience and TV. Now, who knows where we're going to go from here? But what we want to do is present the local music of the area in full form, raw, rare, and get this good. There is nowhere on earth that you can find the kind of music that's right here in the hills of East Tennessee.
Walking the streets is a little different, though, brother, than playing on the stage or in the studio.
It sure is. Big difference, because you're usually not mic'd up and all that.
You
And you have
going
to.
on there now.
But that helps to strengthen your vocals and your talent, because you don't have the machinery there doing it for you. Am I right on that?
Absolutely.
Now you pick and sing, and you tell stories, and you're working on a CD. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, the CD is a project that sprang directly from this area of East Tennessee. As you can't go anywhere where there's not beauty or history. And so I started writing songs just being inspired by the area, whether it be by someone of the past like Wiley Oakley or Martha Jane Husky Ogle.
My relative.
Sophie Campbell. She was quite the character. Or whether it be a place like the Stone Walls in Rocky Flats or the Greenbrier Cove, which is just goes right into my heart. I just love the Greenbrier. So being around, seeing the beauty, studying the history, reading the books of the people of the past, it started inspiring me to write some songs about these places and people. And from that, I come up with about 8 songs that I just really loved and had every intention to keep on writing. And I actually was in a conversation with one of your local, I'm going to say it, music geniuses, Bill Mize.
Yes, I know Bill.
If anybody can take one single note and then add other notes and make you see with your ears, I mean, you can close your eyes and you can see the mountains, you can see the Pigeon River, you can see the hemlocks, you can see the wildlife, a bear frolicking, I mean, and in a conversation with him, I got up the nerve to say, would you be interested in guiding me, producing and engineering a CD for me?
He is fantastic.
Oh my!
He is fantastic as a guitarist, and I know Bill, and he is when he's strumming his instrument, the guitar, the scenery behind it. It's just like his music is it becomes a part of that.
Yeah.
That's how
his music is what you see.
He is. It is. It's exactly what you see.
Feel.
And I hadn't heard from him in a while. Is he still around in the area? Is he still?
Yeah,
well, I guess he is. Since
he's still. Yeah, he's still local.
Okay. Does he have CD music or anything that we could? I'd like to get him in here.
Absolutely.
Get him involved.
He's got
So he's got several.
CDs. Yeah.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Now that's what we're looking for. I would like you let him know that Mountain Fun Life Radio would like to get some copies of his music.
Absolutely.
And get that presented on our radio format and programming. So he's just wonderful, and that is And when people come to this area, and we are the community TV channel and radio now, and we're trying our best to represent the community. Of course, we have music coming in from all over, from all over the United States, Vermont, I think down Florida, the Carolinas, all the way to California. And Mountain Fun Life Radio is the voice of America's music. Don't you all forget that. We are the voice of America's music. But our specialty, if we could have a specialty, I would want it to be the East Tennessee cultural area music that is homegrown and produced right here in the mountains of Tennessee. And you have stories on yours, right? You have music and stories on your CD?
Well, the stories themselves, I will be giving basically a brief story of some of where the songs were born from in the liner notes, as far as telling the stories. Of course, just backing up just a little bit, when Bill said yes, that gave birth to this CD project. So he is guiding me through, helping me do that, producing that for me. But I had noticed as I would do these songs, because I play the old Appalachian folk music also when I run on Tunes and Tales. But if I was in a quiet setting, because sometimes the Parkway can be noisy, depending on where you're at and performing. If I was in a quiet setting, that's where I like to tell my stories. And as telling these stories, whether it be about Wiley Oakley or Martha Jane or an area of the Smokies, that just led into some of these songs that I had written. And I could see the faces of the people as I would be telling about Martha Jane being my heroine for, the tragedy that she suffered through losing her husband, William, after he had found this beautiful area and then wasn't able to move here because he died of the Black Plague or the malaria before he made that trip. That tragedy, but the courage that she had to go ahead and bring her family, along with her brother and his family, to this area that her late husband had described, and finding it. I could see the interest of the people, and that would lead into my story or into my song, and it just made it all the more special to them.
It's so heartwarming and sometimes heartbreaking when you go back and you
absolutely.
It's like you're there reliving it, especially when it's one of my ancestors. See, my great grandpa Daniel Ogle and my grandpa Freeman Ogle. They're out of that Ogle lineage on my mother's side. And my Ombi's side goes back to Greenbrier in Gatlinburg, Big Greenbrier. And I'll need to get you a copy of my Amazon best-selling book, The Ombi's Smoky Mountain Heritage.
Absolutely.
And a friend of mine she practically grew up with, she was older than I, Olivia Crisp of the Helton family. She has some stories in a book that I just helped her put together, and it's called My Smoky Mountain Home, I believe, or My Appalachian Home. She's got some stories like you would not believe, and the stories that come into the area may be of people who don't actually weren't raised here or don't live here. But I had a gentleman. I used to work. By the way, where is this located? Do you have a home base office?
Oh, the Smoky Mountain Tunes and Tales.
Smoky Mountain Tunes and Tales.
Well, basically the Convention and Visitors the city's Convention and Visitors Bureau is special events office is basically where we meet as cast members, before we go out on the.
Okay, the reason I asked, I went when I was on the Facebook page, which is how I was put in touch with you. I contacted the Facebook page because it got my interest immediately because of the nature and the content that I saw on the Facebook page, and some of the videos were made in the parking lot of the Gatlinburg Inn, which is the hotel where Rocky Top was written by Boudreaux and Felice Bryant. Actually, I met them. I was a security guard at at the Gatlinburg Inn for years.
Wow.
I was a security officer there for them, and the Maples, Relly and Wilma Maples, and they were very good to me, and I enjoyed so much. And Boodle and police would come in, and sometimes I would help them get their luggage in, and that's where the song "Wish That I Was on Old Rocky Top," that's where it came from, right out of the Gatlinburg Inn. And so memories like that. But where I was going with this is the stories that come into this. Some come into this area that weren't really, they become a part of the culture because the tourists that come to the area have stories of their own about the area. And I had a gentleman one time who walked in on the parking lot. I was out guarding as a security guard. I would guard the premises, and walk around, make my rounds. And he was walking in, and he asked me a question about, I think, where something was. And he kind of dropped his head and he said, he said, he told me how many years he had been coming there. He had lost his wife. And he said, by death. And he said, I met my wife here in Gatlinburg. And he said she passed away some few years back. And he said, ever since, on our anniversary, I come to Gatlinburg. And I walk the streets of Gatlinburg in remembrance of her. That got to my heart. I went home. I got my pen and my paper. And I began writing. I came up with the song. I'm walking the streets of Gatlinburg. The flowers are blooming like... it's something to that effect. Anyway, walking the streets of Gatlinburg. And there's a grave with pretty flowers on the hillside as I'm walking the streets of Gatlinburg. I've about forgotten the lines to it, but I wrote that song based on a personal story that was told to me by a tourist. So... you get, it's just amazing the stories that are woven into this area, even by the people who come to visit. So what you're doing, I think, is just really special to do what, not only you, but those that you're affiliated with the Smoky Mountain Tunes and Tales. And
if I could say,
yes,
if
go right
anybody
ahead.
out there listening, we'd encourage you to if you're Facebookers, to get on the Facebook and like the Smoky Mountain Tunes and Tales Facebook page, because by doing that you can see all about the program, but you can stay abreast of like the opening dates of the different programs that they sponsor, because besides the Smoky Mountain Tunes and Tales, they also have the Winter Magic,
right, and
possibly some other special announcements coming up. They can meet the different cast members, and but we'd encourage everyone to do that, because that keeps you in tune with the program when we're going to be here.
Keeps you in tune. That's a good line. Keeps in tune with Smoky Mountain Tunes and Tales. And we are about to run out of time. We do want to mention that the movie family feature film Silver Dollar Fish is coming to the Sevierville area at the Civic Center, and that's going to be on, what date did I tell you that was, Mountain Man? Do you remember?
Don't start me lying.
Oh, that's on my birthday, November the 4th. We have not, I don't know that we have the exact time in the evening, probably at 4:30, but don't mark that date down yet. But November the 4th, and it will be in the evening sometime, and we'll confirm the exact date later on. But Silver Dollar Fish family feature film, I wrote the theme song and you helped on it, and we got involved in that. So be sure and catch that at the Sevierville Mountain. Got to say that the mountain way, not Sevierville. Civic Center. And so, Mountain Music Hour is coming up pretty soon, too. I believe that's coming up the 26th at 6 p.m. And we are going to have some of your buddies here. Booger Town Gap is coming to Mountain Fun Life Mountain Music Hour, so don't you dare miss it. So we're absolutely, this has been fun. We have been, it's been a joy to have you here. And so
Dennis.
we're running completely out of time, so I think it's about time for our signature sign-off. Say bye, Mountain Man.
Okay, well, we're going to mention Forge Fit just a little bit.
Forge Fit sponsor. We're going to take you out to Forge Fit. Thank you for reminding me. I had it here, but I was just overlooking it. No, I was testing you to see if you were on your toes.
I'm on it.
Say bye, Mountain Man.
Bye, Mountain Man.
Bye, folks.
Go! One. 2 minutes. Ready?
I am Forge Fit. I'm becoming Forge Fit.
I am Forge Fit.
I am Forge Fit.
I am Forge Fit. I'm Forge Fit.
We are Forge Fit.
Bring it down, right here. Yeah.